I'm pleased to be here with you. It's another exciting day. This is Joy News Interactive, and my name is Benis Abubedu. You're live on the Joy News channel on Multi-TV, also on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. Today is going to be interesting because we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Can you imagine that being single beats being married? Well, that's according to a study by some psychologists. We'll be getting your reactions on that. Don't get emotional yet. And we'll also be talking a bit about the Super Cup. Yes, I call it the real UEFA champion, because you know the UEFA Europa League winner versus the UEFA Champions League winner, they're clashing today. I'll be taking your comments on that, but first let's talk about something interesting. It's not a Thursday yet, but a bit of a throwback. Do you remember those days when it was really common to find small wooden structures, what we locally call kiosks, mostly painted in the national colors red, gold and green? Well, as we call them here, little kiosks were almost everywhere, with people, mostly the elderly, staking with the hope of getting lucky. Well, lottery operators, however, are complaining that they are going out of business because pastors are demonizing the trade. According to them, people shy away from staking the lottery due to sermons by pastors against this. Now, we know some religions preach against staking the lottery and associate the practice with gambling, which is frowned upon in many religions. So what do you make of the concerns by these lottery operators? Let's get on to social media and pick a few of your comments. But before I take your comments, let me show you this.
The Christian, you know what's good for you, you understand, and then everything you do, you account for it. So if you do it, you feel that it's okay for you, that one day you account for your own self. So
when they even arrested Jesus Christ, the garment of Jesus Christ, they were using as gambling, and what Jesus said was very bad. Do you understand? If it were to be good, God have, felt happy. But what they were doing wasn't good. He said, God forgive them. So because it's not good. It's like, most like you are gambling. Like cha-cha, you are doing cha-cha stuff.
The yardstick is the Bible. And the Bible frowns on any form of gambling. So the pastor's viewpoint is from the standard that measures, or the superior authority, which is the Bible, which is against gambling or lottery. So well, they can generate revenue from it and the like, but the sole authority, which is the Bible, says do not engage in any form of gambling.
Pastors are making the business, you know, and lotto takers are also doing their business. And how you are saying they give, revenue to the state. Right, fine. They should, the lotto takers should do their work, and the pastors should also do their work.
Onto Facebook and find out some comments that are coming through about this particular issue. Now, this one is from Ebaite Nwebete. He says, biblically, I can't tell that he can't tell if this is linked to the Bible or not, the fact that some pastors consider staking the lottery a sin, but he thinks that those same pastors stake American Visa lottery for their whole family, and some even ask their members to fast in order to win the American lottery. He thinks is hypocritical. And Yebua Dreams J says the reason why lottery is a sin is because if you stake the lottery, the pastor won't get some to spend. Okay. He says, let's say you stake the lottery on Saturday at the amount of 50 cedis. What will your pastor get on Sunday? So in order for the pastor to get all the money, he will deceive you that lottery is a sin, but he will introduce you to seed sowing. I know it was getting to this point. Okay. And he says, goes on to talk about Reverend Notable and all. Kojo Bennett says it's tough, especially in a country where majority do believe in their pastors. He says, I don't think gambling is a sin. Gambling is clearly not cheating. Please let's note, Jesus drove people from the temple because they were trading in the temple, but not for the fact that they were trading. Okay, so yes, in other words, you're saying trading is not bad, but you shouldn't do it in the church. Okay. And Kuma says the NLA can't be placed aside when talking of the major source Ghana derives its tax. So the condemnation of the NLA by some persons, as mentioned, is also leading to low income tax of the country, which is also pathetic, I think you mean. Stop should be put to it. And then Philip Ihuma says, let's call a spade a spade. The act is ungodly and therefore should be condemned. Whether the pastors themselves indulge in the act or not, the truth still remains. It's ungodly. Chief Furrow says, until they, referring to the lottery operators, answer the age-old question, I'm not on their side. And the age-old question is, why is the lotto doctor or the lottery doctor not rich? He thinks they're just like false prophets or pastors. They profess, their professed numbers don't drop. Apana Chow says, yeah, that's the truth. Whether you generate money from it or not, it is gambling, and they strongly disregard it. So why complaining? The truth has been preached, so take it or leave it, period. I'm sure he means they, the pastors, strongly disregard it. But it's interesting because I've heard pastors and preachers come onto the radio and give lottery, numbers out to people who are listening, and they tell them to call, and that's their specialty. So even within, religion itself, there seems to be a divide. Some believe that it's not good. Others think that's another way to make money. But the future is now says, what do they think? The religious leaders are telling their members what the book says. So they should also tell their lottery members what the gambling book says. He says lottery is gambling, period. And Gideon Lauer says, Ghana and complains. Why? It's not the pastors, rather school RME teachers. He says, teach about wise ways of spending money and stop blaming pastors, okay? Frank Botivi says, it is gambling. It can affect you emotionally or physically. Overexcitement when you win or lose can lead to many problems. Now, this reminds me of a story a colleague told about his landlord who actually won a huge sum from staking the lottery. And according to my colleague, this landlord went to the police station and told the officer in charge to please keep him in the cells, because the amount he had won, he couldn't tell what he was going to do to himself that night. So he just said, you know what, keep me here and let it all get down to my head, then I can spend it wisely. So I get what Frank Potivi is trying to say there. But Kwame J. Santana says, I once crashed with my church elder at one lottery kiosk. After cursing those who stake lottery to refrain from such businesses, he was speechless that very moment. So, well, interesting comments coming in. Just let me know what you think. Get onto our Facebook page, leave your comment there, let the conversation keep going. Is it or is it not gambling? Well, have your say. Away from that, the nation is in a battle against illegal mining. Government deployed a joint military and police task force to some illegal mining communities to save the country's lands and help end illegal mining, also known as Galamsey. But in just about 2 weeks, Operation Vanguard is in the news. Yes, a 31-year-old man was killed at Obuase Wawase in a clash between illegal miners and the task force. But the family of the man who lost his life say that he was not involved in illegal mining and they are suspecting foul play. There have been conflicting reports as to how the man named as Kwabena Jermaine died, but the family say they are waiting for the autopsy to determine the next line of action. Now, what do you make of this? And Amadou Amidi says, are they saying that Operation Vanguard shot the victim intentionally? He's asking. The family should remember that a notice was served to all illegal miners to stay away from their activities, but he refused and went to destroy the land. Amadou, the reason why we are calling it conflicting is that, according to a family member, this young man didn't go to the pits that day. He was actually at home, and so it's quite sketchy now, but they say they are waiting for the autopsy report. Ephraim Agbovi says, well, the military are also saying a different thing. So who should we believe is speaking the truth? This call for an investigation on what actually happened. You mean this calls for an investigation? Now, we urge the task force also to be very professional in their work. Philip Ahuma says, is the family saying he was shot intentionally? He's also asking, maybe he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. If otherwise, then justice must prevail. Kojo Bene says, what action can they take? The instructions were clear. Do not dare the task force and stay off. I knew indiscipline was going to get someone killed in the first week. So, you know, there we have it. Now we're also receiving news of some excavators being burnt. Well, we'll bring you more updates on that in our news, and hopefully get a response from those in charge, the authorities, and then we'll update you on that particular one. We'll be back to talk about the Super Cup. I'm sure, as you may already know, I'm a Real Madrid fan. But hey, I want to know what you think. Who is going to win the Super Cup, Real Madrid or Manchester United? Thanks for staying here on Joy News Interactive. Real Madrid or Manchester United? Who are you for on this big day? Well, I'm definitely for Real Madrid, and I can't wait to see that particular game. It's going to be great. And, well, let's see how it happens. UEFA Champions League winners Real Madrid and Europa League winners Manchester United are clashing at 6:45 GMT tonight. Who wins that cup? Would it be three-time winner Real Madrid or one-time winner Manchester United? Interestingly, George Addo Jr. is not here, but he's coming to us live from Macedonia, and I'm just waiting to hear what he has to say, because you know we have something going when it comes to Real Madrid. And all my predictions last season were right. I said Real Madrid was going to win the La Liga. They did, and they were going to win the UEFA Champions League, and they did. Hi, George.
How are you doing, Dennis?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. I mean, extremely hot in Macedonia. Currently doing temperatures higher than Ghana. We're approaching 33 degrees Celsius right now. It's not easy. I mean, I know Ghana is doing nothing above 27 at the moment, so it's extremely hot, and explains why the game will be 8:45 local time. And I'm in Skopje. That's the capital of Macedonia. I love it that we have moved the argument from News Desk Center Interactive. Let's see how it really goes.
All right. Okay, George. So it's three-time winner against one-time winner. The last time Manchester United played in a final or the Super Cup was in 2008. And, well, that seems to be a very long time. You saw some of the players training last night. What are the chances of both teams?
Well, let's start with Real Madrid, because I think they're such a strong team. Nothing has changed. It is a very accomplished Real Madrid team up against a new Manchester United team that has a lot of potential. So in the build-up to this, most felt that Cristiano Ronaldo was not going to play. But we saw Cristiano Ronaldo yesterday training very, very well for the game. So it looks like Real Madrid are so strong. In the press conference, Zidane didn't really indicate if he was going to play or not, because at least we're made to believe that Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't really interested in playing this game. But it looks now like he's going to be playing. So all the players you can talk about in Real Madrid, the Champions League winning team, how strong they have been. And, you know, this Madrid team is so special because aside Team A, they've got a very active Team B. Casemiro, Asensio, the likes, doing a fantastic job. So watching them train yesterday, same team spirit, having real fun, Zidane easing out with the boys, seeing Gareth Bale back on the pitch and doing what he loves doing. Modric, you know, at the press conference, we saw the likes of Marcelo and Sergio Ramos. The guys are really fired up for this. And the Madrid I've been watching lately is a team that does not stress to win games. They didn't look like they were under pressure. We can talk rather about Manchester United, and most fans were out there to see the new stars, the likes of Paul Pogba, Nemanja Matic from Chelsea. And the big question is, how will these two gel in midfield against that extra fluid Real Madrid midfield? So we're looking at that partnership between Pogba and Matic. We saw a bit in there. It's not too clear if Matic is going to start the game, but it's all fine. How about Romelu Lukaku, the striking sensation for Manchester United? And of course, Jose Mourinho himself will have one or two on his mind, maybe a few lessons to teach Zidane if he can. But if you ask me, Manchester United have to get a final assessment of what kind of team they have going into the English Premier League crucially. And this is a befitting test. Much competitive than the match they played in friendly when Manchester United won by 2-1 in bizarre penalty shootouts that we saw. It was a game that both sides didn't really look so much interested in. But this is going to be an entirely new level And it's Skopje that has been chosen to really look in there. We saw all the guys train. The Manchester United, the likes of Juan Mata, Paul Pogba, Romelu Lukaku, Matic, you know, Mkhitaryan. Great seeing them. I missed Manchester United's training by some few seconds, but it was okay. And I think it's going to be a great game. But anyway, Madrid start as favorites.
Interesting. Will the absence of Wayne Rooney affect the Manchester team in any way, do you think?
I don't think so. I think Manchester United is stronger. They have Romelu Lukaku, who's understanding everything. He seems to be a player who will definitely be unleashed this season. And you look at the body language of Jose Mourinho, and he seemed to be suggesting to his players, pre-season is over. It's now time to win trophies.
All right. And George, you're the man with the facts, but just, you know, help me cross-check this, because I know the last time Madrid played in the Super Cup was in 2016, and the last time Manchester United did was in 2008. And Madrid have featured 5 times in a Super Cup match, and Manchester have done 3 times. Do you think that Real Madrid can beat Manchester United to this just by experience?
Well, experience on various levels. 1, the fact that the club knows how to win trophies. 2, the fact that Real Madrid are more of the team informed, like they're informed than Manchester United. So Manchester United had a good pre-season, but Real Madrid have not been playing with the top stars in pre-season. Real Madrid have been tested than Manchester United have been. So Manchester United have the potential, but Real Madrid have got a team. But we know Mourinho also has got the tactics, so that will probably bring this very close. But if Ronaldo has a good day, if Modric has a good day, I think when Real Madrid should go and get to win this. Team that wins trophies is Real Madrid.
All right, George, sorry to cut in. The last time we did this, you lost miserably. So I'm going to ask you today, who do you think is going to win the Super Cup?
I don't bet against Madrid lately. After watching them in finals, I would rather say I think it's more of a Madrid. But because you're a Madrid fan, I have to hold up the flag for Manchester United and say, go Manchester United. Let's see what they can do. It will be refreshing to have Manchester United win, at least for a break. Madrid want to win everything, and there has to be a break at a point. All
right. I'm just happy that you didn't support Real Madrid. I have a funny feeling that if you did, we wouldn't win. I don't know why. So you can just stay with Manchester United, and then we'll see how this goes. But tell me how Macedonia is, how the city is warming up to that big game.
Yeah, it's a very small city, and, you know, 2 million, that's what they've got in total. In Skopje, Skopje is the biggest town or the biggest city with 1 million people, and they're very excited about this. I went to see the Philip II arena where the game will take place in Skopje, right in the center. I saw the castles, and it explains to you why there is a Philip II arena. Great stuff, but generally very, very hot. Mother city. It's just good. Slightly something below what we saw in Cardiff, and we had rare, crazy moments yesterday when internet wasn't working at the stadium, but I'm told everything is going to be restored, and so we're going to be fine today as we get into the stadium for the all-important game. So everybody's excited here and meeting this. The problem is that you cannot really get on the streets and discuss anything with anyone because they speak Macedonia, not exactly English. We've got 1 or 2 people around who can speak English in balance, so it's not easy, especially for the guys who want to say hi to the ladies. You have to learn how to say some potrofish or petrofish. You can just go and say hello.
All right, George. Thank you very much. But we shall stay in touch with you. Well, I'm just anxious a bit, but hopefully Real Madrid will be able to do what they do again. But we'll touch base with you. Take care, George. And, well, for those of you who want to stay interactive with us, George will be giving us some updates on our Facebook page. So we are joining you on TV. Stay there for the latest, because we've got a man right there in Macedonia. Thank you very much, George Ado Jr. Now, let's get your comments on this. I've heard what George has to say. But Philip Ahuma says, I love both teams, but I'll be very happy if United lifts the trophy. And Apana Charles sighs and says, United will struggle in a draw, but hope they will win. Okay, you mean they'll struggle with a draw. Bismarck Sebastian says, if you place a bet on Madrid, my guy, you are wasting your money. United all the way. Boachi Bright says, United all the way. Okay, Das Clemento Ario says, United is always the winner. Bernard Koshi says, United. And Benjamin Sospan says, United for glory. We are winning 2-1. Ahmad Wamidu says, Real Madrid all the way. And, well, interesting comment there. And then Napora Yakubu says, your team Okay. And Madrid will shower United with 3 goals. Interesting comments coming there on our Facebook page. But, well, let's leave it to tonight, 6:45. That game will kick off, and we'll know who the Super Cup winner will be. Away from football, are you single or married? Pay attention, because this will be of interest. A psychologist, Professor Bella De Paulo, says being single beats being married. Now, if you've ever heard the conventional wisdom that married people live longer, happier and healthier lives, that is what she wanted to challenge, at least. She said at the American Psychological Association's annual convention in Denver. Now, according to her, single people have a heightened sense of self-determination and are more likely to experience a sense of continued growth and development. In essence, living single is mostly a choice, and it allows people to live their best, most authentic and most meaningful life. I'm sure you're either grinning or frowning. So let's find out by checking what you have to say on Facebook. Wisdom says there are good and bad sides to being single and being married. And married people get companionship and assistance from their spouses, whereas when you're single, you may lack all of these. So he's towing a middle line here. Apana Chow says, I vehemently agree with that, because the fullness of life is when you marry, and the Bible went further and reiterates that it is not good for a man to be alone, crowds everything. So he actually disagrees with that. Asakia Clinton Abdongo says, that doesn't mean go and take somebody's daughter and make her starve to death only because a professor said it, even though I wasn't ready. Okay, I'm not sure Asakia got it right. He actually says being single is what will make you more accomplished, or single people are more, have the potential to be more accomplished. And Bangni Dong says people don't treat their marriages right. That's why these assertions are true. If not, God has put everything in marriage. Being single cannot come close to that. Kojo Bennett says people are trying so hard to prove God. The psychologist might be basing her assertion on an experience. Well, I don't believe being single beats being married. And I also don't believe being married beats being single. I like that. So, in other words, just enjoy the seasons of your life. Every season has what it's got to offer. And Philip Ahuma says the Bible talks about blessings that come with marriage. Stephen Spionyako says, I'm sure that professor is on a different kind of... Okay, that's quite harsh. Jamatutu Fada says, it's true, being single is being stress-free. Being single makes you focus on your work, and concentration is 100%. It's been an exciting one here today. We've spoken football, just spoke about relationship. We've also touched a bit on the government's fight in dealing with illegal mining. Thank you so much for your comments here on Joy News Interactive. My name is Benes Abubedu. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be back at 12 with news updates. Before I go, or as I leave, just take a look at this.